Guys, welcome to the Caring for Creatures Show. It's Jerry Miller. It's good to be with you. It's a special edition of the Caring for Creatures Show. Of course, we're Thursdays at 3 p.m., but there's so much good news happening at CFC. We had to give them an extra 30 minutes to spotlight the comings, the goings, the positivity that Caring for Creatures absolutely and undeniably embodies. Harris Tolber is our director. This is his second show today. He is a key component to this program, along with Judah Wickhauer and Lauren Linsky, our producers. I think on that note, Harris, what we should do is go to the group shot and welcome everyone to the set. I think you certainly are well known in this community. Her name is Mary Birkholz.
Hey, Jerry.
Hello. She is the president. Happy Tuesday to you. The president and founder of Caring for Creatures. Along with Mary, she has brought Sue Scott. And Connie, help me with your last name right there.
It is Seyller.
Connie Seyller as well to the program. And Mary, why don't you take a moment first to introduce our guests?
Absolutely. Connie and Sue have been volunteers with Caring for Creatures for eternity, almost. I could say like 50 years, but that would be really an exaggeration. But truly, for volunteers, I think Sue has been working with us for 14 years. 14 I think years. You said we're going to be 14 years this summer. And Connie is just a year or two shy of that. Yes. And in fact, today they are straight off the dog walking trails at Caring for Creatures. They were out there this morning walking dogs. We don't have many non-rainy days, as you all know. So when we have one, they get out there and get walking. And at some point today, I want them to share with you the miles they log every time they are out.
And that's why you ladies are so fit.
I'm serious. Yeah, they're so little.
Well, why don't we start with Connie?
Yeah,
okay?
Perfect.
So the show is yours. This is the question I have for you.
Okay.
Caring for Creatures, the organization, means quite a bit to to our office, to our team. Had a chance to get to know Mary, I would say over about 7 years or so.
Right.
What does Caring for Creatures mean to you? Why do you like volunteering with Caring for Creatures? Mm-hmm. Why is the organization important to your comings and goings?
Well, it's very important to me. I got started because of this young lady right here. She's my friend, my neighbor. She got me interested in coming out to the sanctuary because I have a passion for animals. And she took me out one rainy November day, and we looked around, and I was hooked. But I couldn't get started for a couple more months after that. And when I did, I started out one day a week. It wasn't enough. I had to keep coming back and walking, and we just love the animals, and it has helped with exercise, absolutely, but it does help with my my mindset as well.
I love it. So a stress reliever, quality of life improver, physically and mentally.
Absolutely.
We'll throw it to you. So Sue, Caring for Creatures, you're bringing people to the organization.
Yes.
Clearly, animals mean so much to you, so much to us as well. One of our common denominators here on the set. What does Caring for Creatures mean to you?
Everything. No, it's a great place to be because you can work with animals who need your help. Mary brings in rescued animals. A lot of organizations don't have the ability to keep animals and work with them and then readopt them out, but Mary does. So we get the chance to see them at their worst and watch them grow, learn to love, and just start enjoying life as a dog or a cat, although we work mainly with the dogs. But my husband and I have been married over 50 years, and we've always had animals, so it's been a big part of our lives. And they give a lot more to us than we actually give to them.
I often say I think I like animals more than people in a lot of circumstances. 2 German Shepherds myself. Do I detect an accent of some kind right there? Where are you from?
From the Bronx.
Oh, from the Bronx. The reason I know that, my wife's from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
And she spent a lot of time in New York City. I thought it was a New York accent right there. I like it. Mary, jump in here. Talk to us about these two, Sue and Connie, and what they mean to CFC.
You know, the organization, any nonprofit organization, is, in my opinion, always improved and enhanced with volunteers. You know, we do have a staff. It's a small staff. If you take a look at the number of staff in comparison to the number of animals that we have to care for. And, you know, the staff's busy, 7 or 8 hours. Just, we're talking the feeding, the cleaning, and all that kind of thing. There's a lot more that goes into the health of the animals. And that is new people walking them. We even have, Connie has stepped up on a number of occasions in the training aspect, some basic training with a couple of dogs that really were unable to be offered for adoption. Their exuberance was, probably a little too intense. And you would know the days that Connie was working with those dogs, because she'd be covered almost from head to toe with paw prints and dirt, and in the process, sometimes you get a little dirty. But in addition to all the wonderful things they do with animals, and I can say to you, I know I've said this before, I think, when I'm watching from where I'm seeing it from, and I see the volunteers come, and the dogs know. I mean, those cars start coming in by about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the dogs know. And it's like the first group that's closer to the parking area, they will send up the word. And then it follows the second group and the third group. They're like, oh, right, they're here. And the dogs are all wagging their tails and waiting by their gates. They know they're going to get a walk, a smooch, a treat, and what have you. But in addition to that, both of these ladies have been unbelievable with fundraising.
Oh, that's great.
They help a lot with off-site events, whether that's adoption events or fundraising events. And Sue has done for years these catnip pouches, catnip for the kitties, catnip pouches. And I took a quick look at last year's numbers, and she sells them year-round, and a number of places here in Charlottesville carry them. They are very popular with the cats in the area. Unbelievable. She can tell you more about them, but she raised just over $2,500 selling catnip. And we're selling, what is your price now at $6?
2 for $6.
2 for $6.
Right.
2 for $6. Quick math right there. You're selling a heck of a lot of catnip right there.
Right.
How are you selling all this catnip?
Well, it's a group effort. There's another gal, Faye, who will put them together for me. And we get material from quilters. Almost everything is donated. I buy the catnip. We all chip in. And I put them out in vets' offices. I sell them at...
Patty has them over at Animal
Connection.
Yeah. And I do fundraisers with them at craft fairs and all. So they are popular, and it's fresh catnip. So people really are getting their money's worth, because they last anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you could like and share the stream, that would mean the world to us. Drop a comment in whatever Facebook channel you're watching. Kristen Destiny Brown says, Connie and Sue, you guys are doing great.
Hey!
Kristen Destiny Brown giving you some props right now. Like and share the CFC stream. How about this? We're going to throw this to you, Connie. Caring for creatures, we talked about the importance and what CFC means to you. How about because you've touched on this already, the animals and how they impact you from a decompression standpoint. So here's a perfect example. I'll relay anecdotal for me. I am, 70 to 80 hours a week of work. That's what I do on the regular. And, I say that, not for boo-hoo-hoo, and I say that more because my passion is my profession. And when you make your passion your profession, you don't work a day in your life. And where I'm going with this is, after 70 to 80 hours a week, there's nothing more that I enjoy going on my back deck with my German Shepherds and getting one of the Kongs and throwing it as far as I can and watching, I may have a cold beer in my hand too, and watching them sprint after that Kong, bringing it back to me, and the joy that they get from there is just like a relief for me and like an outlet for me. How about for you?
That's what it's all about. I mean, you could be having not the best day, or you're worried about this, worried about that, go out to the sanctuary, and as soon as I get out there, it's a beautiful setting, and just get out in the fresh air, and the dogs, each one, like Mary was saying, they see you coming, and they get so excited, and they're welcoming you, and they can't wait for you to come and visit with them, take them for a walk, or train them, or try to train them. And it just does you good. You just forget about everything, and it's just wonderful.
I love that answer. What are you thinking, Mary?
And I've had other volunteers tell me the same thing when I'm, mentioning something that I'm grateful for what they've done, and they go, "Oh, are you kidding? I need to be out here."
Exactly.
And it's not just the dog walkers; it's also those folks who sit in with the cats. Mm-hmm. And we have many cats who are less than social, let's just say it nicely that way. And these individuals who are our cat volunteers go through and take so much time and patience, but there is such a reward when the animal responds, and I hear that time and time again. And it's just it's a feeling that you get when you're out there.
That's right.
And it's something all the animals contribute to, and also the humans that are there. It's elusive to name it. It's elusive, except that it's a good feeling.
I love it, and we're showing some of the cats on screen from Caring for Creatures, and we have a comment from Susan Blakeney. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that comment. And I want to throw the question. I'm going to read the comment first, but I'm going to get you thinking about the question. I want to talk about the miles you're logging walking the dogs, okay? Because I'm sure it's a lot of miles. You're going through some tread on those shoes. Susan Blakeney has this to say, and is she in Connecticut?
Yes.
She's in Connecticut watching right now.
Yeah.
And she says, "Hi, Connie and Sue, two of my all-time favorite volunteers.
Aww.
These fine ladies are absolute workhorses and will walk dogs all day long to make sure everyone has a chance to get out. You guys rock. Hi, also Mary. We know you rock, Mary Birkholz." Smiley face, Susan Blakeney from Connecticut. I love
Thank you,
Susan.
Susan.
Susan's awesome.
She is.
She was awesome person. She's often contributing to the show, and Susan, we salute you for that. How about the miles? How many miles you do in a week, you think?
Well, it depends on the weather.
Okay.
In good weather, we can get up to 15 miles a day walking dogs. But we get out there at 10 in the morning, and we go home, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Sometimes Connie's
there after dark some
Yes,
days.
I'm out walking in the dark.
So, and if the weather's bad, it might only be 8 or 9 miles. Because we don't.
Only 8 or 9.
That's more than I do in a week.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and the dogs love it. They really do. We try to get each dog out for a mile. And if it's not good weather, if it's really too cold or too hot, then we might just do a half a mile or so. But they like every minute of it, and we have a pond on the property where we can put a long leash on the dogs and let them go swimming in the pond. We have little kiddie pools that we put out. Some of the dogs really enjoy that after a walk in the hot summer, jump into their little pools. Of course, we had a lot of fun teaching some of the dogs how to get into the pools. We had to get halfway in ourselves in order to get them to say, "Oh, it's not my pail to drink water out of?"
That's a big pail.
You're getting some props here. You're getting encouragement. Samantha Campbell says, "Hi, Sue."
Hello.
Let me throw this to you, ladies. How about this? And Mary, I've been wondering this as well. So I wear my emotions, on my body. What you see is what you get. I fall in love fast, and I have a big heart, and I am quick to give love and put it out in the ecosystem. And I want to surround myself with people like that because I feel like it makes life better. And when I start finding people that are at the negativity mindset, I quickly, slowly weed them out. Okay? Where I'm going with this is, how do you balance spending so much time with these wonderful animals and rehabilitating them from literally, lack of better phrase, death row, to coming to Caring for Creatures, where you're rehabilitating them, hopefully rehoming them, bringing them back to life, You create a bond with these animals. And we'll start with you first, Connie. How do you balance falling in love and making these connections with the animals and then watching them go to a home and to another family? Because that's got to be tough.
It is tough. It's bittersweet. I've always said that. You do fall in love with them, and they're all special, but it does mean a lot to know that they will have a home there for life if they don't get adopted, if they don't get their forever home. And I'm glad you brought that up, because there's one special dog out there right now, Mr. Levi.
Mr. Levi.
And that's
Levi.
one that I was training, working
Yeah.
with. He's still a work in progress, but he's a beautiful boy. He's going home on Friday, and a few of us have discussed this. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But we're so happy for him, and we're so over the moon that he's been given this chance. And I know he's a special guy. He's a wonderful dog, and but it is tough. He deserves his shot.
Tell us about Mr. Levi.
He's a lab.
He's a lab
maybe a
pit bull
pit.
mix.
He's got one ear up, one ear down. He's gorgeous, and you look in these soulful eyes, and he wants to please, but
his desire, like most dogs, to please.
He's a
is
bit
like,
spirited.
He's quite spirited.
What are you saying? He's a little high energy? Is that what you're saying?
Just a tad.
That's why she walks up.
I wanted to get to him today, and I couldn't, but I did go in, and we had a little training session.
Yeah.
But he's gorgeous.
I'm going to throw that question to Mary. I want to get that same answer from you, Sue. I mean, how do you balance falling in love with the animal, especially when you see the animal at its low, and then take the animal to its high? You make a connection.
You do.
You do.
How do you balance that?
Well, actually, it makes me very happy when they're adopted out. Sometimes I do a little dance, like
The happy dance.
we call it the happy dance out at the sanctuary. But there's nothing more rewarding to see an animal that was so down and come a long way, learn to trust, start to love, and go to that forever home. And we have a great opportunity of seeing a lot of the animals because they get adopted out to people out at Lake Monticello where we live. And so we get to see a lot of them. I mean, Elvis and Buddy Holly, they live around the corner
Yeah,
from us.
yes, I
So
do.
who can do better than
You
that?
can't do better than that.
Yeah, you can't.
do better than that. Give us some props right there. That's what I'm talking about. You're getting some positive attention here. Sue Russo?
Hi, Sue.
She's watching right now. She says, walking pups is what refreshes me. I get as much from the dogs as they get from me walking them. And Sue and Connie and Mary are absolutely amazing women. Thank you, Sue Russo, for jumping in on the feed. If you would like to share your perspective with our panel, please do. The whole objective of the Caring for Creatures show is to spotlight one of our all-time favorite charities and organizations in Central Virginia. Caring for Creatures takes the most high-risk animals, the animals that are on, for lack of a better phrase, death row, and it adopts them and brings them to Fluvanna County and rehabilitates and tries to rehome these animals because everyone deserves a second shot at life. I would like Mary Birkholz's perspective on the question of balancing the connection with the animals and how you make I mean, does it make you sad sometimes to see them go? I mean, is it 100% like, yay, we placed them in a home? I mean, what do you feel?
I feel both. For just about all of them, it's like, that's why we're here. That was our initial goal. We have now come full circle. You know, we've pulled, as you say, the death row animals. We've healed their physical, their mental, their emotional, and gotten them as ready as we feel we can for moving on in their life and improving the life of the family who adopts them, because they have a purpose too. And if we're successful doing that, we always open up a spot for somebody else. You know, we don't have endless space or endless money. So as we, get everyone ready and those who can and do move on, then we open up a space for someone else. But I have had more than one occasion where I had to hold myself together and be happy as the animal left. And I had one dog. I don't know if either of you were around yet for that, but his name was Otis. And he came to us as this little 5-week-old puppy. And honest to God, when he matured, he had to have been like part Great Dane. You know, he was huge. And he lived in my home at that point. A lot of, you know, the smaller ones, they grew up there till they were adopted. And he went out on adoption. And I kid you not, I watched the vehicle as it was going out our driveway. And there's Otis turning around, looking out the back window, and nearly broke my heart because he had been in my home, you know, and that's what fosters go through. Bless every foster mom and dad out there, because it's rough, it's heart-wrenching sometimes, but it's why you're there, what you're doing. And that animal went on to have a wonderful, loving home of his own. But yeah, it's rough.
Linda Cortez says, I absolutely love caring for creatures, and I'm enjoying the show. Linda Cortez, thank you for jumping in on the stream. What else you have on there? You have some notes.
I do.
On your paperwork.
You know what? And I have lots of notes. Well, as always, I like to place the focus on the animals, and there's a couple that we thought we'd bring up. Well, actually, one dog, and there's a series, 3 kitties. But the one dog is Max, and I hope that you folks will see a picture of him coming up. Max was one of those death row dogs. And I don't know if Susan knows this. It happens to come from, he came from the facility where Susan helps out. And I saw a video. Max had not been selected by any other facility. The 2 dogs he came in with got rescue, and he was left behind. And he had, minor issues. He wasn't always comfortable being around other dogs, and that might have been why no one chose him. And I saw Susan was just letting me know that we have just like 2 days left for this dog. And she sent me a few videos so I could see how he was reacting with dogs walking down the gauntlet, I'll call it, where there's many kennels filled with dogs barking at him. And quite honestly, while he might not have been the most happy dog being barked at, he never reacted and responded in an ugly sort of way. His approach was, get me to my kennel so I'm safe. But the person, whoever it was behind the camera who was videoing this, her voice, I could tell it was very difficult for her to do that, because she said, our Max, and you could hear her
personal
voice.
Investment.
Yeah, her voice cracked. And we only have a couple days for Max. And I thought, you know what? I know what that's like. I know how staff connects also, and our staff does that. They're all wonderful. And, to have to make the choice to put that dog down because of what I wasn't sure, I just thought, hell with it. We're going to take Max. So we did. So we're featuring Max today. Handsome, handsome, handsome boy.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Beautiful. And he's sweet. He's
sweet,
probably
very sweet.
4 or 5 years old. Came to us kind of the middle of January. Yeah, he's sweet. He just melts into you. When he's with you, he just wants to become part of you. Mm-hmm. And he's the dog that he was on the schedule for getting a bath today, and he proceeded to then roll in all the junk just to get the smell off. But, I know these ladies walk Max, so they can also share their experiences. But this dog is going to make a wonderful family companion. And while he might be the happiest as being the only dog, I feel like there's a lot of homes out there that would fit that description, and you won't be sorry. He's lovely to walk. His personality is just super. He just wants love. Just wants, like everybody.
Like who doesn't want love?
Like who doesn't
right.
want
love? All of us want love.
All of us.
Caringforcreatures.org. Caringforcreatures.org is the website. And you can click the Our Dogs tab or the Our Cats tab, and you can see for a database of the animals that are adoptable. And I think Mary and her team do a tremendous job of humanizing and personalizing the animals through pictures and through biography content about their traits and their attributes and what kind of animal they are. One of the things that we all know, if we've spent any time with animals, cats or dogs, mammals in general, we're all different. And each animal has its own characteristics that may or may not apply to one home, could not apply to home A, but could apply to home B.
Right.
And that's what makes them fantastic.
Exactly.
Keep talking to us, Mary.
Okay. So the other featured animals are 3 kittens, and we call them the tea kittens. They're probably about 5, moving on to 6 months old soon. Their names are Tony, Tina, and Travis, born the end of September. These are stunning looking kittens, stunning. You really want to look on them. Look online, go see them. They're absolutely beautiful. And they're soft-pawed, if you don't know what I mean by that. With a cat that's soft-pawed, when they interact with you with their paws, they're not putting their claws out.
Right.
So they're soft-pawed. You pick them up, they just go limp. They're perfect. I don't know why no one has come and grabbed one of them up yet. They're social, they're friendly, they're sweet, they're healthy. They're alive prior to caring for creatures. We have their mom too. She's a little more spirited, as Connie would say, but she's also very gorgeous, long-haired black cat. And they had to be trapped. They were living around a home, and the gentleman was very elderly, and his daughter helped him trap the mom and the kittens. They were probably about 8 weeks old when that happened, and all of them are now at the sanctuary. And mom is learning to be more social. In fact, she's been out and about in the Scratching Post kitchen, just sort of, learning how to be. And the kittens, well, they were already perfect. So they're ready to go. But they're wonderful.
I love it. I'm going to throw this to both of you all. First, I'm going to get to a comment from one of our viewers named Kathy Kravinsky.
Yep.
Hi,
Kathy has some great things. She's watching right now. Think about this question, and then we'll get to Kathy's comment first. Caring for creatures, its own little ecosystem, its own little world. And the animals are, in some ways, the humans of this tiny little town. And each of these animals have their own personalities and their own spirits. And some of them get along real well with each other. Some of them need some encouragement to get along well with each other. Some of them are the alpha or the pack leaders, and some of them are used to being the followers, much like humankind. So I'm going to talk to you about that shortly. Kathy Kravinsky says this. She says, "You guys look great." She says, "I love volunteering at CFC, whether it's walking the dogs, socializing the puppies, fostering the kittens, helping with the inventory, fixing things around the sanctuary. My favorite things to do is to stake Steffi, my favorite dog, on car rides while we listen to music." Hi, Mary. Hi, Sue. And hi, Connie. You guys look
Kathy.
great.
Hi, Kathy.
That was awesome, Kathy. We'll throw it to you. We'll start with you, Connie. It's a town within Fluvanna County, a town of animals, a town of personalities. Like an anthropology study could probably be done there with animals. Talk to us about kind of your experiences there.
Oh gosh, you kind of threw me for a loop on that one. But you're right. There are many different animals with different temperaments, and gosh, I'm kind of at a loss here. But
What do you think, Sue?
Well, some of the animals are really excited to see you when you approach their run. So they're the happy ones saying, let's go, take me out, and let's have some fun. Others, they say, hey, I want to go out in the big run and fetch a ball. So they kind of tell you what they want to do, or if they want to go for a swim in the summer, they'll tell you that too. Just don't get dragged into the pond. We might not get back out again. But
we want you alive.
Yeah,
yes.
they all have different personalities, and some of them you go in and they're cowering. So you just sit there and you let them approach you and warm up to you. And that's their way. we've had a couple of, one dog who I've loved, he's been adopted, Tequila. Mary asked me to do something with Tequila because he was a twirler.
Now we're talking about an animal now, right? Okay, just making sure, because I like tequila.
Right. Well, I felt I was drinking tequila when I had him.
Funny.
He would be on the end of the leash, and he would actually twirl all around, and then he would run around the person walking him, which was usually me, and I'd get dizzy, just like if I was on tequila itself. But he learned to calm down, and he became a wonderful dog, and then he stayed at the sanctuary. He was a hound mix, and he became a very gentle, loving, nice walking dog, and he just stayed there for quite a while. And then along came Nora Bird.
Yeah.
A long-time volunteer also, but she does work full-time, so she's not out there as much as she wants to. She fell in love with Tequila and wanted a companion for her dog at home. So her husband came out, and he loved him too, and now Tequila goes to the beach, Tequila goes hiking, and
He has a great life.
yes, he does.
Great
And I
life.
think he's gotten younger in age. He's more like a puppy again. He's having a wonderful life, and I get to see him.
That's
So
awesome. That was a great answer.
it's wonderful.
I love it.
Just to see them go from one extreme to the other. And yeah, it's sad to see an animal get adopted because we're going to miss them. But it's so rewarding, and it makes you so happy to see them going into a good home.
I love that answer. That was so good
Yeah.
right there. We have a lot of folks commenting right here. Linda Cortez, my granddaughter and I have volunteered there, and she has adopted a dog from Caring for Creatures. I recommend anyone who wants a pet should go for Caring for Creatures, should go to the sanctuary. You will fall in love with the staff. You will fall in love with the pets and what Mary Birkholz and the team are doing. Sonia Aaron Collins McCall is tagging Kim Tiederman, Debbie Anderson, Susan Powers, Albritton. Might be messing up that last name, but a lot of folks watching right now. If you could like and share the stream, that would mean the world to us, guys. Just give it a tap with the like or share the page. That would really put the spotlight on Caring for Creatures. We are 38 minutes in. It's felt like 4.5 minutes, and that's a tribute to you guys. Seriously.
Except when I froze.
Oh,
You know,
freeze.
freeze.
It was more the host's fault. That was my mistake.
no,
Absolutely,
not at all.
absolutely. What else are we missing? And guys, we're going to be on air Thursday at
Yes.
3 o'clock, and Mary's regularly scheduled time slot. This is a special edition
Yeah.
of the Caring for Creatures show. What else are we missing, Mary?
Well, actually, I'd like to make a quick comment
Sure.
on your analogy about the little town,
Sure.
because you're absolutely right. If you it's kind of funny to step back and view it from that perspective, because we do have all these different personalities. We have birth, and we have teenagers, and we have senior citizens, and we experience death. You know, all aspects of life the same that the humans do if there weren't animals around. But I've learned a lot about every aspect of life from the animals, and I think they're better teachers than we give them credit for. Absolutely.
And you just have to watch and look.
Yeah.
And
Just have to be open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to be open-minded
Yeah.
to it. Final words. Any final thoughts? We will go to Mary first on some final thoughts. Maybe a chance to highlight the Greenberries campaign.
Yes.
I would like to get, if you guys have an opportunity, some final thoughts before we wrap up. Anything animal-related, anything CFC-related. You have time to think about that. First, we'll go to
Okay, right.
Mary Birkholz.
Well, first of all, the Greenberries
Think,
actually was
think.
on my
Yeah,
list
that's
to
right.
make sure we reminded everyone. If you don't recall our goal from last Thursday, we're looking to have at least 45 lattes sold between last Thursday and this Thursday. So we have 2 days. We're on at 3 o'clock on Thursday, so I want to see at least 45 sold, and we'll hopefully get that count for you to update you. But head out to Greenberries. It's delicious, especially when it's this nice weather. Oh my God. go get one of our lattes, sit outside, and just space out and enjoy yourself because it's a special treat. I thank Sue and Connie for being here today. I thank all our volunteers for all the time and the energy and the tears that you invest in caring for creatures, the dollars as well. Connie was also responsible for a very large matching gift campaign that we held last year. So each part of it is important. There's not anything that's too little or not enough.
Anything helps.
Everything helps. Anything and everything helps. And to all of you who are out there listening and helping and encouraging us, it means the world to us. We really couldn't do it without you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We'll give Connie an opportunity for a final word, and then we're going to close with Sue from the Bronx and her final word, because she is bringing some charisma and some articulation to the show. Connie, the show is yours.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, I just want to stress what a wonderful place Caring for Creatures is, and thank Mary for all the hard work she's put in over the last 30 years. But I would encourage everybody to come out, and if you're looking for a dog or if you want to volunteer, the hours are yours, whatever you want to give at any time. There's great, we kind of tend to walk the dogs, but I love cats as well, and the cats are special. So cat people, dog people, whatever kind of people, just come on out, and it's a great place. And you'll meet a lot of good people as well.
And I see them watching right now. So we got Sue Scott with the final word here on the third episode of the Caring for Creatures show. The show is yours, Sue.
Well, a lot of people can't have animals or because of where they live. And if they come out to the sanctuary, they can get what we call the animal fix. They can give their love and receive love back from the animals and have that time and form a bond with them. And it's very rewarding, even though they can't have one in the home. We've adopted. I've had 3 dogs from Caring for Creatures, and I think Connie also. So we're lucky to be able to bring a dog home. But for those who can't, come on out. And volunteers, yes, please. We're getting older here, and we need a little help.
Love it. I love it. Great answer, guys. And the I Love CVille mascot, Liza the dog, who is perched under the desk right there. She is an utter sweetheart. You know, she was an adopted dog from Caring for Creatures, and she's truly amazing. Caring for Creatures is an organization I have been a part of, or worked alongside of, I should say, for 7 years, and have gotten to know Mary Birkholz, and we say on the show all the time, a living saint, an angel on earth, and I know that embarrasses you,
It does.
but it is
I want it to be about the animals.
100% true. Well, you are the face of the organization, and for
I know.
30 years of her life, she has given her most precious commodity, which is her time, to the most at-risk animals. And I encourage you to go to caringforcreatures.org and get to know what this organization is all about. Take a day trip to the sanctuary in Fluvanna County, because I have a feeling once you get touched by CFC, you're going to see what the magic is all about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing. It's the Caring for Creatures show. We are 42 minutes in. We will see you on Thursday at 3 p.m., where we talk about another story within the many-layered onion that is Caring for Creatures. I'm Jerry Miller for Mary Birkholz, Sue Scott, and for Connie. Thank you kindly for joining us on the Caring for Creatures show. We will see you on Thursday at 3 p.m. Excellent.
Thank you.
Good work.
Good, thank you.
You did an awesome job.
Want to feel my hand?
42 minutes. You guys are so good. So good.
I almost did okay. Huh?